I saw an NFL quarterback in Charlotte. That was what I saw. I'm not telling you he was a great one, but the play fakes were better. The control of the huddle was better. Really, everything I saw out of Zach Wilson was better. Does that mean that he's going to be a starter in this league? No. Does it mean that a team's going to jump up and down to make an offer on him? No. And I don't think the Jets would listen anyway. I mean, you got a 38-year-old quarterback. You're not handing the reins to Tim Boyle.
Right.
So, I mean, that part of it was fine. I thought he was better, but that wasn't a real high bar to clear.
All right. Now, what else offensively stuck out to you about your Super Bowl champions?
I am more convinced now than I ever have been that they're going to run the ball down your throat with at least 3 running backs and maybe 4 if they can come to some kind of agreement with either Dalvin Cook or Ezekiel Elliott. You tell me I'm crazy that they went and got Aaron Rodgers. For
a reason, yeah.
Yeah, but their reason was not, hey, we're going to throw it 600 times. No, we're going to take care of the ball, and we're going to let that defense, which is real good, beat you brainless.
Mm-hmm. And they did that against the Carolina Panthers offensive line.
Look, I heard Rich Cimini, our buddy at ESPN National, say something after the preseason game. Most teams that have a defensive line rotation like this, they have liabilities in the secondary, and quarterbacks can get it out quick, and that keeps the pass rush from being as ferocious as it is. They just don't have that problem.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're a Panther fan, you want a reason to be terrified. The 2 corners they played in this game, predominantly, neither one has a snowball's chance in Atlanta of making the roster.
Really?
No. Neither of them stand a prayer of making this roster. And it looked that good against your ones. I think that's more the Jets are that good in the front 7 than Carolina. Then it's really a negative for Carolina.
Okay. But you think this team is everything you hoped it would be? At least early?
They're better than I thought they were.
Really? Okay.
Yes. I mean, look, I know my 2020. Look, I know. I've done that. I'm superstitious. I got 13 tattooed all over my body. Worked for the Nuggets. Now we're going to see if it works for the Jets. But in terms of what I expected, yeah, this team is better. This team is markedly better to me than what I thought they would be.
Okay. All right. So, Super Bowl or bust now? You're just all buying in. He's ready to go.
And I'm still not there. I think this is a playoff team. I feel better now that I have sizable wagers on them to win the division. Look, I think the Jets are the best team in the AFC East. Mm-hmm. You call me a homer if you want to. I just spent 3 full days with this team. So, I can also tell you, I talked to guys in the organization, and they agree with me. So, there's a lot of hope. You can call that whatever you want to. It's a team that hasn't had a whole lot of success lately, and you've given them a reason to hope. That's all I wanted.
Yep. We do a lot of, we do a lot of fantasy football stuff around here, in case you guys didn't know. And the way you're talking about the running backs makes me wonder, how much do you downgrade Breece Hall if you think this is going to be a big committee?
I don't think it's going to be a big committee. I think Abanaconda is going to have a role, the rookie out of Pittsburgh. Michael Carter is going to have a role. I think they're done with Dalvin Cook. So at this point, Miami Dolphins, if you want him, really all you have to do is come in and match what the Jets offered, because everything I've heard, they're done. We tried, didn't work, moving on. We've talked to Breece. Breece knows he's the guy. His trainer and the medical staff of the Jets have said he's going to be ready week 1. Mm-hmm. We don't need it. We're good. But do I downgrade Breece Hall? No, not really. For me, it's 6 one way, half dozen the other. The way he's being valued right now was with the thought of Dalvin Cook. They're going to run more than you think. There's not going to be Dalvin Cook. And even though it's Abanaconda and Carter and maybe Zonovan Knight, it doesn't change anything for me.
Yep.
I still think he's the top 10 running back in the NFL.
Now, you want to play fantasy football with us? Our weekly DFS contest, the Battle for the Belt, is back. In fact, we got 2 different contests this year, if you have not heard. We've got the usual standard contest, weekly DFS, and then we've got the Eliminator Challenge as well. Once again, proceeds from the Battle for the Belt going to Eblen Charities St. Nicholas Project. You can get in both contests, $75. Individually, they're $50. And again, proceeds going to Eblen Charities. And the winner of the contest, once again, going to carry around that beautiful belt that we've got coming in from Pro-Am Belts.
They're fantastic. They're almost done. And we will have them at our live remotes at the Village Porch every Sunday this football season. It's your official watch spot for all things fantasy football with us, 51 North Merriman Avenue, right here in lovely Asheville.
Find the links for the Battle for the Belt on the Sportsocracy.com front page or in the description of each and every one of our YouTube videos. This is the Sportsocracy. We are in the Ingalls studio. We will be right back.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Potential for thunderstorms tonight and tomorrow. Looks like the heavier weather will be here for the top of the work week with a pretty decent chance for storms around the mountains tonight and tomorrow morning. And then less of a rain chance and cooler temperatures with lower humidity starting Wednesday. So looking forward to that. Nice little drop to the humidity here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're at 70 degrees tonight with thunderstorms, scattered storms Tuesday, 80. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by ComparionInsurance.com.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent, local agent, local agent.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com.
This is my Carolina Panthers bobblehead, my 04 NFC Championship jersey, and my Panthers scratch-off from the North Carolina Education Lottery.
Whoa, you could win $200,000 and even 4 season tickets to the Panthers Vault? Why haven't you scratched it?
It's in mint condition.
New Panthers Scratch-Offs. Enter to win season tickets to the Vault, a field-level premium seating experience. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.23. Carolina Panthers is a registered trademark of Panthers Football, LLC. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to ESPNAVL.com.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Are you Beer City's best fantasy football player? Your chance to prove it is back. The Sportsocracy's Battle for the Belt is back for year 2 with 2 ways to win. Our standard contest and the new Eliminator Challenge for the most hardcore of football fans. Play fantasy football with us every week of the NFL season and compete for a cause with proceeds benefiting Eblen Charities St. Nicholas Project. Register today at thesportsocracy.com and take your shot at the title of Beer City's fantasy football champion.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy
just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Well, as we all get ready for the NFL season, college football is right around the corner. Jeremy got me all excited when he told me right before the program that this will be the last week without bangers on Friday until February.
If you're new and you've never seen the bangers segments, they're going to get even bigger this year. A lot of yelling. A lot of really hoarse Jeremy by the end of it.
Week 0 in college football is next week. We got the kickoff of the regular season for most everybody else in week 1. And then you've got the NFL kicking off. What is the week after that or 2 weeks after that?
It's the New York Jets play the Buffalo Bills 4 weeks from today.
There you go.
In the first Monday Night Football.
So we're not starved for football content anymore like we were. I mean, the XFL and the USFL, they tried to give us something to cheer for in the springtime. It was terrible. And now, if those weren't enough, we're getting another one. There's another minor league, or however you want to put it, football league that's kicking off. This one is called the IFA. It's the International Football Alliance. It's a professional league. It'll have half American teams and half Mexican teams. So they'll go back and forth across the border with the different teams. Now, I can't really tell. I guess at this point they don't know just how many teams they're going to have, but that's the plan. But they do know who 2 of their coaches are going to be, or at least they know one of their coaches, and they're really close on nailing down the other one. The headliner coaches for the IFA, the International Football Alliance, the first one, Art Briles.
Well,
going to be the head coach of the Dallas-based franchise.
Well, that's a step down, but I guess it's who would hire you. So
100%. I mean, Briles, obviously, from all of the Baylor stuff and the covering up of the sexual assaults and that giant scandal that brought down that program, cost him his job. And then the second one is Nick Rolovich, who was the coach at Washington State, who, remember, got in trouble during the coronavirus times because he refused to get the COVID vaccine, and it was a state law that all state employees had to have it, and then he just walked away from his job because he refused to get it. Yeah, that guy is going to be apparently one of the coaches. They're very, very close to nailing that down. And I thought, Rolovich, okay. Briles? That's going to be a no from me, dog. I don't care what level I was working at. I could be in an arena football too, if that even still exists. And Art Briles would come knocking on the door. Hey, you need a coach? Nope. I'm good. I'll take the kid who just, dogged half the country in Madden to pick my plays, not Art Briles.
Yep, that's a strange way to say that. But Nick Rolovich just brings back a line that I've heard on social media and from a slew of my family members. None of us are mad we didn't take it. My story is about Peyton Manning, and it comes from Knoxville, Tennessee. Everybody knows Peyton is one of the great alumni of the University of Tennessee, but now he has a new title. He is a professor of practice.
Professor of practice?
I don't know what that means.
Practice? Talk about practice.
Practice. For the 2023 term. Practice. He will be joining select classes during the academic year as a featured expert and work alongside the college's faculty to provide learning experiences for students at Tennessee.
Featured expert.
Here's the thing. That head is a wealth of information. All right.
How did we not know you were going to make a head
look,
joke?
I'm just saying, anybody with a forehead that big, there's a brain behind it that corresponds. He's a smart dude. That's a smart dude. He might be able to teach 5 or 6 classes. Possibly at the same time.
I'd love to know what the expert is going to be. Like, I could understand it if he's doing, media classes. Like, they have a mass comm thing.
That is one of them.
Okay, and he's going to talk to him about producing. He'll, because he's got his Omaha Productions. I can understand that. maybe like a social media advisor of some kind, or broadcasting would be the only thing that I would consider him an expert in, other than, I mean, if he was actually going to be the professor of practice and show up at Josh Heupel's practices and I guess teach them how to practice. Interesting. Look, if you got a name like Peyton Manning on your alumni list, use him for whatever you can.
Look, if you've got a forehead like Peyton Manning, you're going to need a slew of sunscreen. That's just something to. Got a little burnt in Charlotte. Just
being ugly today.
Before we transition into our next topic, Veterans Under Oath Sports Cards asked who we thought what showed the best team this week. For me, it's the New York Jets, but then again, I was like right there. Who impressed you the most of all the teams that played this week?
You know,
You don't have one?
I mean, maybe Atlanta? I don't know.
No,
I mean,
Atlanta played exactly no one,
exactly.
which we'll talk about in the next hour.
And that's kind of my point, is Atlanta played nobody. And
well, I mean, my three winners of the weekend were the New York Jets, which we've already talked about, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
That backup quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars who had a Madden-esque Pat Mahomes touchdown, and that will be his claim to fame for the rest of his life.
Shout out to Nathan Rourke, who will be starting in the IFA not too long from now.
And the New Orleans Saints. Those were my high water marks.
Okay.
The ones that I walked away from going, shoo buddy, were the San Francisco 49ers. I don't know what that was, but it were not pretty.
Mm-hmm.
The Carolina Panthers, who we've already talked about, and whoever picked out Kyler Murray's wardrobe. Kyler Murray's stylist, that dude needs to be out of a job.
Who told Kyler Murray to show up in a sports bra?
I mean, you know, you do you. We live in it's a very modern society, but you're in an NFL locker room, and you thought that was a good idea. That is all I need to know, that your decision-making is lacking. I played 3 sports. I would never for 1 second have thought, that's a good idea.
Look, I've seen he's not the first one to wear one of these, right? He's the
first one I've ever seen.
He's not the first one I've ever seen. I've seen several dudes wear these in the past, but usually they're dudes that have a build, you know? Like they've got something to hold in. I don't know why you would need that. I mean, I know why I need it, but their reason for needing it is much different than mine.
Oh yeah, Tank, total sports bra guy.
Thank you.
No doubt. Frankly, now that I've seen it, I'm actually pushing for one. Like, could you do that, please?
Oh, I start going to the gym here in between shows during the middle of the day. I'm gonna have to get a sports bra because that's gonna strain my neck and my back, and I just can't deal with that. But what I'm saying is, like, I've seen like big hulky dudes wear these.
I have not.
But Kyler Murray, you ain't got nothing to hold in there, bud. I don't know what the thought was.
It's an aggressive strategy, Cotton.
Yep.
Let's see how it works out for you.
Yep. Anyway, Justin Fields, he's apparently everybody's on the bandwagon. Justin Fields, greatest quarterback of all time. Let's go. Had a damn near perfect quarterback rating this weekend.
3 for 3, 129 yards, 2 touchdowns. Can't really do it any better.
No.
Average air yards of those throws, 16 centimeters. Awesome.
I think it was actually -3 yards.
But I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm a Bears fan, I walked away from this going, let's go. I've got playmakers that can actually take those, because that's the thing about Justin Fields. I have always said the kid has talent. He's not a natural thrower of the football. All right? You can scheme anybody that gets into the NFL that has that kind of talent. You can find a scheme that will work for them. And I think the Bears have. My objection was you hired a defensive coach, and now you're expecting Luke Getsy, who's never been an offensive coordinator, to come up with how to do this. I didn't love that. Here's what I saw. I saw a lot of speed. If Khalil Herbert's not the number one running back, you have done it wrong. Do not give me Deontay Foreman. I don't want to hear it. Khalil Herbert is infinitely more talented. And you look at Herbert, DJ Moore, who had a well, that was impressive. And the bad thing is that happened right as we were going into the stadium, and Carolina Panther fans are seated on their phone going, I bet I heard DJ Moore's name 50 times.
Right.
But I see a lot of speed. The defense, I think, will be better. Saw a lot of the young guys, which I'm a fan of. That's, to me, how you use the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
I like a lot of what's going on with the Chicago Bears. I know you're not as impressed by it as I am. But I think there is a legitimate shot the Chicago Bears win the division. You keep telling me I'm crazy, and I see a path.
It's not that I think you're crazy. It's just I got to see it to believe it. And the preseason's not going to change my mind. The only thing that will change, that did change my mind about the Chicago Bears is what you said. They've got guys that can move the ball, move it after the catch, which they were not able to do last year. There was zero of that. So you go out and get a guy like DJ Moore, and that allows you to break some big plays. Chicago Bears, Tennessee Titans. I mean, the Titans got to see what that offense can, how dangerous that offense can be when you give them enough room to run. My question is this putting others on notice in the NFC North?
Well, we're going to talk about Jordan Love next hour and what we saw from Green Bay. Even the preseason game, I'm still reining all this in going, man, there's a lot of moving pieces with Green Bay. I think they have talent, and I've said that multiple times, of we're throwing that baby out with the bathwater just because Aaron went away.
Mm-hmm.
That's still a talented roster. I just don't know how it all fits together. I am terrified of Minnesota. And every passing day, I become slightly more scared about the Detroit Lions. Not that they're going to read their own press clippings or anything like that. I just think it's a really open division. There's nothing that I definitively know is set in stone.
Mm-hmm.
I look at a lot of these other divisions. I know the Philadelphia Eagles are good. I know the Dallas Cowboys are good. I think the Giants and the Commanders are talented. You're just in the wrong division. And I could do that up and down the NFL landscape. Then I get to the NFC South or NFC North, and I don't know. I don't know exactly what that is. I just think it's open. That usually means that you're going to have really close race that probably goes to the last week of the season. And if the Chicago Bears are involved in it, I'm not going to be shocked.
Mm-hmm. Detroit Lions had their, one in particular had his struggles. Jameson Williams continues to deal with drop issues. And that's the biggest warning flag, I think, or the biggest red flag for Detroit Lions fans right now.
Well, the biggest red flag for Lions fans should be that right now, legitimately, the only receiver you can count on is Monroe St. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And you're treating this team like they're better than they are. And I'm just looking at Chicago. See, this is the gambler in me. You said I want to see it before I believe it. I don't have that luxury. Because once I've seen it, the number moves, and now I can't make any money on it.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the Bears going, this is one of those beautiful things that a gambler loves to see, which is I already thought one thing, I already thought another thing, and it doesn't seem to be moving anybody but me. So I can keep heaping money on the Bears and shorting the Lions. And could I be wrong? Absolutely. I'm not going to be out that much.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm right, then that'll make the whole season. And that's where I'm at. I see enough in the Bears. This team is drastically better. They were my favorite little pincushion last year because it didn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Ryan Poles is a really good GM. And what I have seen is, especially with how they're using players or how they use players against the Titans over the weekend, they're throwing everything against the wall and seeing what sticks.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a team like this should do. This is one of the most talent-bereft rosters I've ever seen in 2022. I don't feel that way now. I think you've got enough high-end playmakers, and Justin Fields is a weapon. I refuse to say he's a great quarterback. Mm-hmm. He's not. He's a great fantasy football player, and he is difficult to game plan.
Yep. And I look at what happened in the preseason game where he goes, 3 of 3 for 120 something and 2 touchdowns. Never ran, as he shouldn't. I mean, it's preseason. I'm not taking the chances that he's going to get hurt. But it does make you scratch your head and go, have they put it together? Has this been the answer? Do they have enough playmakers now to make this real dangerous? Justin Fields himself was dangerous last year anyway.
But he was dangerous in a really sterilized way of, he could put up great fantasy days. It was never really a threat to beat you. Now, I've got enough to mitigate any problem he has. Stephen Westbrooks in our YouTube comments said the Lions still have Josh Reynolds, Marvin Jones, Khalif Raymond, Sam Laporta, and Ben Johnson as the OC. That last thing, I agree with you wholeheartedly. The other 4 things you said are exactly my point. One of these teams has DJ Moore, Chase Claypool, Darnell Mooney, Cole Kmet, Khalil Herbert. Compare that to the list I just said. And you're telling me there's no doubt one of these teams is better than the other? They absolutely could be. I think they're better coached. I think the GM is 2 years ahead. But this is not the given that everybody's making it. And Notorious B.I.G. in the YouTube comments said, DJ Moore looks awful happy. Yeah, I had the same take. And I've been thinking that for quite some time now. Every time I see him out at an event in Chicago, I'm like, man, that dude looks like he just won the lottery. Which is what got me to start revising my, maybe this Justin Fields thing is not as bad as I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
Not telling you Dan Marino. But the Bears are doing a really good job of propping him up.
All right, so Justin Fields, let's see, MVP, overreaction.
Oh, stop. Okay. Is
that too much of an overreaction for the first week of the preseason?
I said enough nice things to stop getting death threats. Let's not get to, dumb time, okay?
It is the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. It is an Overreaction Monday. What did you see from the first week of the preseason? Anything really change your mind about any of these teams? I'm not the guy that goes down the path of you can't glean anything.
I think it's stupid to go down the path you can't glean anything. If you couldn't glean anything, we wouldn't do it. Because I got news for you. They're not. It's always about the gate. Oh, they got to have the gate. Yeah, look around. Do you know how much it takes to open one of these stadiums? It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They're not making as much as you think.
But it's important, not only for the teams themselves, but for the lesser guys as well. And we like to overreact when we see certain things in the preseason. We'll continue with the Overreaction Monday right after this on ESPN Asheville. Jeremy got more bangers for the season.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels, whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
When you order food for work on EasyCater.com, we've got your back. Real humans are here to help with your order every step of the way, making sure everything goes right, even behind the scenes without you knowing. Confirming and double confirming with the restaurant that everything is on track. If there's a problem,
thanks for calling EasyCater.
Call us anytime, day or night, and we'll answer in seconds. We're right here with 100,000 restaurants, working hard to ensure the food arrives on time and is ordered. Order 24/7 at EasyCater.com.
Spring in the South means the return of Atlanta Braves baseball.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The 2023 Braves load up for another huge season.
The Braves play here on ESPN Asheville.
DQ presents how to fancy up any occasion. Step 1, grab the caramel fudge cheesecake blizzard from DQ. Step 2, break out your fanciest sweatpants and park yourself in your comfiest chair. Step 3, kick back and bask in the luxury of salted caramel, rich fudge, and decadent cheesecake pieces blended in world-famous DQ soft serve. Fancy? Achieved. No formal wear required. DQ. Happy tastes good.
Coffee's the closers, homie. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the money.
At the net root of it all, we're all just people. We all put our pants on one leg at a time, and we're just people trying to be people. The difference between me and most other people, I'd go 13-6 throwing out bangers in the preseason. Anybody can wager the regular season. I'm at 67% when the games don't matter. Let's go. This is Green on Green, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. There's no games tonight. So we have to pick back up with our last two divisions, and we saved two really good ones for last. The AFC West. Disregard the Denver Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders. Neither one of them can win this division. I don't care what the number is. Denver's plus 550. Raiders are plus 1,200. Both are completely irrelevant. The two that are actually interesting, Kansas City Chiefs minus 165. Los Angeles Chargers plus 340. You're not going to make much from Kansas City. Requires $165 just to make $100 for them to win the division. I think it's almost a lock that they do, but I would still throw a little light flyer at plus 340 on the Chargers. That team can't be as bad defensively again as they were, and now with Kellen Moore, they may score points at will, and you'll see more of Justin Herbert from 2 years ago than Justin Herbert last year. That's enough for a flyer from me. I'll stack them together. 100 on Kansas City, 100 on the Chargers. I know I'm coming out one way or the other. For more, find us on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. And as always, love the savings with Ingles, love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Chance for thunderstorms tonight and tomorrow. Looks like the heavier weather will be here for the top of the work week with a pretty decent chance for storms around the mountains tonight and tomorrow morning. And then less of a rain chance and cooler temperatures with lower humidity starting Wednesday. So looking forward to that. Nice little drop to the humidity here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're at 70 degrees tonight with thunderstorms, scattered storms Tuesday, 80. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The Beefy Crunch Burrito is back at Taco Bell, thanks to rewards members who voted for it on the Taco Bell app. Filled with seasoned beef and flamin' hot Fritos, it's as crunchy and beefy as it sounds, and as delicious as a vote winner should be. Get one today at participating Taco Bell locations while supplies last.
Are you Beer City's best fantasy football player? Your chance to prove it is back. The Sportsocracy's Battle for the Belt is back for year 2 with 2 ways to win. Our standard contest and the new Eliminator Challenge for the most hardcore of football fans. Play fantasy football with us every week of the NFL season and compete for a cause with proceeds benefiting Eblen Charities St. Project. Register today at thesportsocracy.com and take your shot at the title of Beer City's fantasy football champion.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent. Local agent. Local agent.
Find us at comparinginsurance.com.
Only
only iHeartRadio gives you access to all of your favorite radio stations.
It's The Woody Show.
Rover's Morning Glory.
The Rob Ryan Show.
All of the once-in-a-lifetime events.
iHeartRadio Music Festival.
All of the best free curated playlists.
Everything that rocks.
All of the great podcasts for every interest.
This is Freddie Prinze Jr. from the Wrestling with Freddie podcast.
All of the mind-blowing contests.
$20,000.
Awesome. All of your favorite superstars.
We are 30 Seconds to Mars.
This is Alex from All Time Low.
Best of all, it doesn't cost a thing. Download the absolutely free iHeartRadio app now.
The Sportsocracy.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen. Let's keep moving forward.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown with breaking news. Our Adam Schefter reports Cowboys offensive lineman Zach Martin will get a reworked contract, which pays him more than $36 million guaranteed over the next 2 years. James Harden of the 76ers is calling team president Daryl Morey a liar. Harden says he won't be part of an organization that includes Morey. ESPN's Kendrick Perkins.
When it comes down to James and you think about where he's at, if it was a real market for the money that he was trying to get, he probably wouldn't have opted into his contract.
Kendrick Perkins on NBA Today. The 76ers plan to have Harden in camp after he asked to be traded. Is the story behind the book and movie The Blind Side a lie? Former NFL offensive lineman Michael Orr says Leanne and Sean Toohey never adopted him. Orr is now asking a Tennessee court to end a conservatorship that he says he was tricked into signing. And you can now call him Professor Peyton Manning. He's going to be working in the School of Communication at Tennessee.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Green, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingalls Supermarkets.
This is the Sportsocracy, and we are live in the Ingalls studio on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 on a Overreaction Monday. You can hear us everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. See us live on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. Everybody in the chat giving their reactions to week 1 of the preseason. And, well, let's talk about the Atlanta Falcons. Because, Jeremy, you had a problem with the Atlanta Falcons sitting so many of their players, including the quarterbacks. Desmond Ridder did not play.
Nope.
Taylor Heineken did not play.
Nope.
100% of the offensive snaps went to Logan Woodside.
What's the point? Why'd you even show up? I mean, what did that do exactly? And look, I think Arthur Smith is a really smart guy, but this we don't play anybody in the preseason thing is getting to a really stupid point. I get not playing Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
I'll even go as far as I understand not playing Matthew Stafford. Sean McVay, bad team. That's your only hope because the high end is good, but the roster depth is not. I do not for the life of me understand why an NFL football team would go into a preseason game with Logan Whiteside as your quarterback, Godwin Igwebuike, and Carlos Washington as your running backs.
Mm-hmm.
Xavier Malone, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, who I was dumbfounded was still in the NFL, Tucker Fisk, and Josh Ali. What did you glean from that? Atlanta, I mean, surely to God, you don't actually think you're so good that you need to be resting everybody. Because that makes no sense to me. Desmond Ridder needs reps. He's not very good in the first place.
You would think.
And so now I just officially feel like this was the signal to me of, okay, we've gone too far. We have gone too far with this. The preseason means nothing.
Would you still, or do you give them any credit or credence to we didn't want to trot our quarterbacks out there because none of our offensive line played?
I don't understand why none of your offensive line played.
I don't either, but maybe they're all dealing with something.
That was the thought, was that, okay, if you put Desmond Ridder out there, you got to put the first string offensive line out there.
Absolutely.
And Pitts and Drake London and Bijan Robinson. I don't agree with that on Bijan. I think Tyler Algier would have been just fine. And guess what? He's another one that I don't really feel like you had to put in mothballs. I don't understand the thought. We have seen empirical evidence of this over many years. You know, is it weird to anybody else that Sean McVay got just scattered, smothered, and covered in a first week regular season game 2 years in a row?
No.
Is that weird to anybody?
No.
Because you mean nobody played?
Right.
Brandon Staley starts notoriously slow. Hasn't always led to losses, but there's been a lot of clunky.
Mm-hmm.
I fully get, and look, I had a lot of people at Panthers camp tell me, man, I wish we just did joint practices. If this is what we're going to get, then why don't we?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I had $1 for every person that said I watched the first 3 series or I watched 10 plays, it's not like you're drawing a huge television number. It's not like you're drawing a huge gate. But you've got these teams that treat the preseason like it's just an annoyance.
Mm-hmm. Which it is. I mean, for a lot of teams, I believe it is.
I mean, and you can say I'm old school. You can say I'm an idiot. You call me whatever you want to. There are a lot of things that can be gleaned from this, and there are certain teams that are just taking these reps and setting them on fire.
Mm-hmm. I don't
understand.
I don't know that I blame Arthur Smith for not playing as quarterbacks. I mean, I don't know what the deal is with the offensive line and why none of those guys could be out there. But if you're saying that I only have one starting offensive lineman in what he's going to usually deal with, that's going to be, I think, Drew Dahlman might have been the only one that got a snap out of the starters that are projected for the season. Then I don't know that I want Desmond Ridder out there in the first place. I don't know that I want Taylor Heineken out there in the first place because this is a tight battle, right?
It doesn't seem to be to them.
Well, maybe it's not.
If it's a tight battle and you didn't play any of these guys, you're a bigger moron than I think you are.
Maybe it's not. I thought
because if you think you're going to decide this off 7-on-7s and joint practices that are set up by the coaches, that's how you're going to pick this. You're out of your mind. Here's how I read it.
Okay,
it's Desmond Ridder. Period. End of message. Repeat the line. Taylor Heineke is the 2, and nothing else matters.
Mm-hmm.
Why our offensive line is set. We know who the receivers are. They're not great, but we know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to run the football. We feel like the line is intact. And defensively, they played more guys that will matter defensively than they did offensively. Ebikati had I thought, a nice night.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moving pieces on this team, and we make this seem like 2 series in the preseason that there are there's 8 landmines planted between the 20s, and somebody might just explode if we put them out there for 2. Name me the last guy that got high-end player that got hurt in the preseason. I've been thinking about this all day.
Mm-hmm.
Chad Pennington's the last name I can think of. That was
of a
20 years ago.
Okay.
I cannot for the life of me remember a player that, and I'm not saying important guys haven't had an injury that maybe carried into the season.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, guess what? Joe Burrow just got hurt in a practice that nobody touched him.
Right.
This narrative that, the preseason is, I mean, you make it sound like they're playing this in the middle of an active war zone.
Well, they might have been if it were up to Desmond Ridder with a little protection in front of him. I don't know.
But keep going to the little protection. Yeah. Why are you not playing the first string offensive line? Play them a series. Play them 4 series and a few with Heineke. You're not good enough to just go, we're good. I'll see you September the 7th.
Right.
Because here's what I'm looking at, and I just want you to remember I said this. And I saw somebody in the Mark Bradley said Bijan is, quote, playing Friday. I'm not that worried about Bijan Robinson. That's not really my point. And even Kyle Pitts and Drake London, I guess I get it. I mean, we're treating these three guys like this is the greatest show on turf, and no, it's three young guys that in this league have not proven squat. I think they're really talented. They've proven next to nothing. And you're just going to put them in mothballs? You play the Carolina Panthers week 1. You mark my words, Carolina will look better than Atlanta does. Can't tell you they'll beat them, but it will be real obvious to you which of these teams took live reps and which ones didn't.
Yep. And that could, that could all change. We could see this week with week 2 coming out. Maybe this is when Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heineken and all of the starting offensive linemen do get to play. This is why the preseason is seen as such a joke by so many fans. Is because, can you settle some of those back end of the roster debates? Sure.
No doubt.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, let me go at this a different way.
Okay.
Who's the smartest coach in the NFL?
Andy Reid.
There you go. Did Pat Mahomes play?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we can play Pat Mahomes. Same offense, same roster, same everything that's won 2 Super Bowls. We can trot him out there. Did he only throw 2 passes? Yeah, he did. But you know what was in front of him? The first string offensive line. You know why? Because they have 2 new tackles, and that kind of matters. But Atlanta, who has Caleb McGarry and Chris Lindstrom, I'm not saying these guys aren't good, but do you see how, when I say it like that, do you see how stupid that sounds? Mm-hmm. First preseason game, Andy Reid goes, yeah, Pat Mahomes is playing. Series, 2 series, whatever he plays. He's playing. But Desmond Ridder has to be kept in mothballs and transported in bubble wrap. Shut up.
I also thought he could be so bad with the starters in practices that
what's it matter?
Why would I throw him out there?
What does it matter?
In the game?
I'm going to find out in 3 weeks anyway. He's so bad that I can't put him into a preseason game? Awesome. You're going to get beat by 416 points week 1.
Right.
If that's the case, why are we doing this?
It's one of the only logical things I could come up with was they just didn't want to throw him out there because he had no protection and he would look that much worse. And if they're going into this season, as you said, it's Desmond Ridder and nobody else, then I don't want to cause myself any headaches. I don't feel like that he needs the reps in these preseason games, which is stupid. I don't agree with. But if I feel that way, then I'm not throwing him out there to have everybody just rip him apart because he's running for his life in front of the second-string offensive line. Whatever the case may be for the offensive line not to have played in this game, I agree with you wholeheartedly. They need the reps. They need to figure this out.
I guess that's my point. I guess that's my point. And it's weird. Other than Sean McVay, who, oh, by the way, finished with the 5th worst record in the NFL last year, every one of these coaches that treats this way, their career resume is suspect. But nobody ever second-guesses them. And I hate to draw a weird analogy here, but this is like some of the stupid things that people say, and everybody's so afraid that somebody's going to attack them. No, it's what you just said is crazy. Just straight up. It's just the way it is. That's what we're doing with the Arthur Smiths and the Brandon Staleys of the world. Because that's the 2 guys who lead this charge. You're leading this charge, but it doesn't make any sense. You have no evidence of anything that you're saying. And you start slow. Mm-hmm. And you're going to start slow this year. Sometimes, people say stupid things. And just because you sit there and nod your head does not mean it's any less stupid than than it actually is. And that's where this is. I watched every second of Dolphins-Falcons. And I could not – it was because I couldn't sleep, but because it was on television. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't stop thinking, what is the point? If you care this little about the preseason, why are you putting a guy that you drafted in the 2nd round? Desmond Ridder needs reps as much, if not more, than Arnold Ebiketie. Fact or fiction?
That's a fact.
So you're trotting an offense out there to do nothing. All right, let's just play 7-on-7 from now on. That seems to be what you want to do in the first place. Football's a contact sport, and it's a violent sport. At some point, you're going to get hit. I don't want to lose somebody to a worthless game in the preseason. I understand that. Mm-hmm. I'm not sitting here telling you to play them 70 snaps. But the inconsistency is just mind-boggling to me. And Desmond Ridder being kept in mothballs is the one that I will use probably for the rest of my life.
Right. No real purpose on the outside. We don't know what's in Arthur Smith's head, but maybe he's got mothballs in the head. I don't know.
Arthur Smith's a really smart guy. I just think you're outsmarting yourself. You're just point blank, you're outsmarting yourself. Mm-hmm. Andy Reid, who's a first ballot, no doubt Hall of Famer, looked at Pat Mahomes, who is a first ballot, no doubt Hall of Famer, and said, you need a couple series. And you'll probably have a couple more in the second game. And Arthur Smith, who is maybe a competent NFL head coach, looked at Desmond Ridder, who is almost invariably not a competent NFL starting quarterback, and went, no, you take the day off. Go put on your cute little ducky hat and stand on the sideline. See, when you say that out loud, it sounds really stupid.
Mm-hmm. That it does. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Don't forget, get signed up for Battle for the Belt. It is our yearly fantasy football competition. It's all for a good cause. Proceeds from the Battle for the Belt going to Eblen Charities St. Nicholas Project. This year we got 2 separate contests, which means there are 2 championship belts on the line. There's the standard contest and the Eliminator only challenge, which is still 3D chess, above my pay grade, but we'll give it a shot. The
Don't
Eliminator
worry, I'll
is
send you a list every week and tell you who you can and can't play.
The Eliminator is you can only use a guy 3 times. Anybody in the league, you can only use them 3 times throughout the entire NFL season. But you can get signed up today at the Sportsocracy.com. Again, proceeds going to Eblen Charities St. Nicholas Project. More overreactions on this post-preseason Week 1 Monday next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
No accidents or stalls in the roadways. Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, volume is steady and moving well. Smoky Park Highway, no backups. Patton Avenue moving well. New Leicester Highway, no delays. Hendersonville Road, no backups. Sweeten Creek Road southbound is busy between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Charlotte Highway, no delays. Tunnel Road moving well. 26 eastbound, light delays between the French Broad River and Airport Road. In Polk County, 26 eastbound crawling between West Mill Street and the South Carolina-North Carolina line. I'm Lee Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by ComparionInsurance.com.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent. Local agent. Local agent.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
DQ presents How to Fancy Up Any Occasion. Step 1, grab the caramel fudge cheesecake blizzard from DQ. Step 2, break out your fanciest sweatpants and park yourself in your comfiest chair. Step 3, kick back and bask in the luxury of salted caramel, rich fudge, and decadent cheesecake pieces blended in world-famous DQ soft serve. Fancy? Achieved. No formal wear required. DQ. Happy tastes good.
O'Reilly Auto Parts' new Brake Best Select Pro brand raises the bar for the best aftermarket domestic brake pads and rotors available. For vehicle-specific friction formulations, Quiet Tech noise-canceling shims, and stainless steel hardware, choose Brake Best Select Pro. Professional-grade brakes from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingalls Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingalls Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are you Beer City's best fantasy football player? Your chance to prove it is back. The Sportsocracy's Battle for the Belt is back for year 2 with 2 ways to win. Our standard contest and the new Eliminator Challenge for the most hardcore of football fans. Play fantasy football with us every week of the NFL season and compete for a cause with proceeds benefiting Eblen Charities St. Nicholas Project. Register today at thesportsocracy.com and take your shot at the title of Beer City's fantasy football champion.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Back in the Sportsocracy inside the Ingalls studio on ESPN Asheville, week 1 of the preseason in the books. Talked about the Panthers, talked about the Falcons. It's time to talk about that team that everybody's losing their minds about in the NFC South.
The New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, the
and
Saints.
A.T. Perry.
Woo!
Dog.
Yep.
Yeah, NFL teams. You want to know why you should call me just for me to say no? Because A.T. Perry was the easiest. I genuinely think that was the easiest evaluation I've ever done, and we said his name 467 times over the draft process.
That we did from round 3 until, what was it, round 5 when he finally got drafted.
And there were some things going on behind the scenes, so it's not just every team became dum-dums. A.T. Perry is a dog.
Caught 6 of 6 targets for 70 yards and a touchdown in the New Orleans Saints 26-24 win over the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. And I think...
Oh, there's another name here. Derek Carr is a dog.
6 of 8, 70 yards and a touchdown. A quarterback rating of 140 on the day. And Saints fans are locked in. And I feel like you should be.
Mm-hmm. Jameis Winston looked good. Jake Haener had moments. New Orleans is the best team in this division. The only thing that can stop them from doing that is if Dennis Allen does Dennis Allen-y things.
Mm-hmm.
But they have every piece in position to be real, real good. I mean, real, real good.
I don't know if I'm going that far, but good. I'll say you got the potential to be good. I don't know if real, real good is on the table. You think like, when you say real, real good, I automatically think 12-13 win season. You think that's in the books? Okay.
This is the only team in the NFL that I don't see a path that they are a dog in a game before December.
Wow.
They only have 2 that I even think it's possible. They play the Titans at the Panthers. They're not going to be a dog to the Panthers, and I know somebody's going to say it. They won't be. At the Packers, Bucks, at the Patriots, at the Texans, Jaguars, at the Colts, Bears, at the Vikings, at the Falcons. How many losses did you, honest to God, hear right there? Because if you are above 3, I genuinely think you need to have yourself tested because you're smoking crimes.
You don't think they'll be a dog to the Jaguars?
It's in New Orleans. No, I really don't.
Okay.
I really don't. And the Jaguars kind of have the same problem. They don't really play anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the home road split. It's 3 points on either side. No. If they are, it won't be by much. And that's the only one. Maybe to the Bears, but even that's at home.
Yep. Colin Green, who's a Saints fan, says, D.A., Dennis Allen, actually showing some life on the sidelines over the weekend. So, I mean, that's a change.
Well, and you get to a point of self-preservation. Now, and I'll rope in your Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, why?
Did you see in Life from Todd Bowles?
No.
Todd Bowles looks like somebody that's getting ready to. He genuinely looks like he's just awaiting the axe to fall.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they told him, if you win 13 games and went to the NFC Championship, we would still fire you.
He's been that way, though.
Which is, it's so stupid that you go into a season like that.
The last year and a half.
I feel like Dennis Allen, and now look, I'm gleaning this off a preseason game. So could I be getting duped here? Sure, you can attest. I've been high on New Orleans anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the third time I've read their schedule because I keep looking at it going, I'm not sure I couldn't coach this team to 11 wins. There's a possibility that Dennis Allen is just looking at this going, what do I have to lose? All right, half the fan base wanted me fired anyway, and it may be more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've had what I think to be a very good draft, and we've got even more players than we had before. Michael Thomas is back. It appears to be healthy. And let's just give it the old college try. Stop being. I have always thought Dennis Allen was one of those people that was too far in his own head, and he didn't look that way yesterday. Again, preseason. Can't emphasize that enough. It is the preseason, but it looked freer to me. The offense appeared to move better. It seemed more coherent to me. That's what happens when you have a 8-9 year vet playing quarterback as opposed to Jameis Winston or Andrew Dalton. And when I say 8 or 9 year vet, I mean one that's actually good. So Andy Dalton did look good in camp. Okay, I'm not throwing shade at Andy Dalton.
Right.
It looked to me like an efficient team. And at this point, that's all I'm looking for. I don't want you to look out of sorts. And New Orleans never did. Now, their security staff was apparently a little out of sorts.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't hear about this.
They stopped the kicker on the way into the locker room thinking that he was a fan trying to
get in the
gain access.
Yeah.
He then kicks the game winner, and they did the same thing on the way out going into the players into the parking lot for the players.
I mean, come on.
It's like, come on, man. Does he have to wear a name tag?
Yes.
The guy just kicked the game-winning field goal.
Yes. We didn't know who that was.
Frankly, I didn't know who it was, and I watched the game.
Exactly.
I saw the name and went, why does that sound from? Oh, yeah.
I mean, to me, that's a story if it's Alvin Kamara or Michael Thomas.
If it's Alvin Kamara, you're Eliminator fired.
Right.
Eliminator today.
That's a story to me. The kicker? No, because I mean, I don't even know who the kicker is for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at this point. He
Blake
could come walking,
Gruppy, I believe.
He could come walking through this door right now, and I'd go, "Hey, did you check in with security at the front?"
It's cute that you think we have security.
Shut up! Don't tell people that. It's trying to theater of the mind.
We have a gate. You can't get through the gate. All right, that's our security.
Indeed.
Yeah, there you go.
Indeed. Anyway.
Look, your security is me. All right. But for better or worse, that's the best you got.
And I understand that. I'm just I don't begrudge or think ill of the security guards in New Orleans because they didn't know who this guy was. Still don't know who he is. What's
Blake
his name?
Gruppy.
Blake Gruppy. That was the name of the kicker that got stopped.
Yes. I mean, look, he's not going to make the roster, so I'm sure they didn't bother to learn his name.
No. Nobody cares who you are.
And you don't want to get on TikTok because somebody just had that liberal arts confidence and you let them walk through the locker room and all of a sudden they're throwing banana cream pies at people.
Right.
I get it. I understand how we got here.
Hey, we won the game. Yeah, congratulations. Your fourth stringers came back and were able to kick a field goal as time expired to get you the win on the scoreboard. But what in the end did it really matter? Nothing.
You take wins where you can get them. Now, if anybody should be looking at that, it's you.
No, I don't have those.
I mean, your team scored. Baker Mayfield threw a touchdown.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, we feel good about that.
Can I say something? Can I make a sweeping no-doubt declaration right now? I will bet you anything you want Baker Mayfield is your starting quarterback. And he will be for way longer than you want him to be.
We shall see.
I saw out of Kyle Trask exactly what I have been told I would see out of Kyle Trask.
Mm-hmm.
Now, am I losing my mind that Baker Mayfield went 8 of 9 for 63 yards? No. He made one throw that was, I don't remember how long that touchdown was. I want to say it was 10 yards or something like that.
12, I think.
Yeah, I'm not jumping up and down that an NFL quarterback made a 15-yard throw.
No.
He's still not good, but he will be your starter because Kyle Trask looks like he is in the cloud. Looks like he met Cheech and Chong before the game and everything's just going in slow motion, but it's not.
We'll talk more about the overreactions from that game coming up later on in the program. It is ESPN Asheville on 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and, of course, everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. When we return, Sportsocracy gets weird.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Potential for thunderstorms tonight and tomorrow. Looks like the heavier weather will be here for the top of the work week with a pretty decent chance for storms around the mountains tonight and tomorrow morning. And then less of a rain chance and cooler temperatures with lower humidity starting Wednesday. So looking forward to that. Nice little drop to the humidity here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're at 70 degrees tonight with thunderstorms, scattered storms Tuesday, 80. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
North Carolina Highway Patrol reporting 40 westbound near Charlotte Highway. An accident has the right shoulder closed. Also, Tunnel Road near 240, an accident reported. The ramp lane here is narrowed. Sweeten Creek Road southbound is stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. 26 eastbound delays between I-40 and Airport Road. 26 eastbound near Saluda, light delays between Ozone Drive and West Mills Street. 26 on the westbound side, crawling between SC14 and the South Carolina-North Carolina line. I'm Lee Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by ComparionInsurance.com.
Hi, we're a Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent. Local agent. Local agent.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa."
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist. Ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is my Carolina Panthers bobblehead, my 04 NFC Championship jersey, and my Panthers scratch-off from the North Carolina Education Lottery.
Whoa, you could win $200,000 and even 4 season tickets to the Panthers Vault? Why haven't you scratched it?
It's in mint condition.
New Panthers Scratch-Offs. Enter to win season tickets to the Vault, a field-level premium seating experience. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.23. Carolina Panthers is a registered trademark of Panthers Football, LLC. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
At Ingles Weather, we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that, and that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, And there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Yeah, it's time to get weird, and a lot of talk today about The Blind Side. It's one of the best football movies.
Never seen it.
That's out there.
Never seen it.
Love The Blind Side. It was a great story. It's the Michael Orr story. If you're not familiar, Michael Orr was a poor homeless kid, senior in high school, Memphis, Tennessee. He was taken in by a family called the Tuohys, and then, of course, he was a star football player at the private school that they got him into. And then he goes to Ole Miss, and he was an impact player at Ole Miss, and then he gets drafted by the Baltimore Ravens in the NFL draft. It's one of the great Cinderella stories of all time. But as the years go, we're finding more and more of this story is BS. For years.
Is it as bad as Sandra Bullock's accent in that movie? You want to know, if you ever want to ask yourself, hey, did Jeremy see this movie? If somebody that doesn't have a Southern accent does one that way, as a proud Southern gentleman myself, I cannot stand when. But that looks like town, like Jodie Foster in Silence of the Lambs. I'm out. I hear that in the trailer. I don't care if they're handing out hundies at the end of that movie. I'm not watching it.
Over the years, though, we're finding more and more of this story was just plain BS. For years, Michael has said that he hates the movie. He hates the way that they made him look in the movie, like they made him look like an imbecile who couldn't do anything for himself and couldn't read and couldn't write and all that. He says none of that is true.
Well, I mean, the biggest lie is they made him look like an NFL football player. Facts hurt sometimes.
Well, now
I'm probably going to get sued for that one.
He has filed a 14-page petition in Shelby County Court in Tennessee, which is the county where Memphis is, and he says that Sean and Leanne Tuohy did not adopt him as they have been telling everybody for years. That was part of the movie, was that he was adopted into the family and he was now a part of the Tuohy family. Well, apparently that's not what happened. What he's saying happened in this lawsuit is that when he turned 18, they told him that he was signing like adoption papers, but they weren't really adoption papers. These were a conservatorship.
That's the thing Britney Spears had.
Right. So as conservators of Michael Orr, he had no control over his name, image, and likeness, and they had control over all of that and what he could agree to financially, and basically he's saying he got screwed out of all of the money, that the Tuohys got all of the money off of the movie and the I guess the books and the speaking tours that Leanne has been on all these years, and they've been using his name to fundraise for all of their foundations. See, they're big business people in Memphis. They had strings of fast food chains and stuff like that. They made a lot of money in real estate in Memphis, and they've been making millions of dollars off of his name ever since this movie came out, or even before the movie came out. And now that he's gotten none of it, he says. So now he's suing to get his portion of the pie, and this just turns this into an even seedier story than has ever been portrayed. And he didn't find this out, apparently, until February of this year, when he was going through some legal loophole or legal process, and he said, "These are my adoptive parents," and they went, "No, those aren't your adoptive parents, because that's not the document that you signed." And so now he wants his piece.
Well, and you may value my response to this to be a little crass. You were an NFL football player. You made millions of dollars. And you're telling me you signed a document and 12 years later you have no idea what it said. Whew. Okay, then. I won't sign my receipt at a bar if I can't read what it says.
Right.
I mean,
It
maybe
doesn't
I'm
really-
just protective.
It doesn't really play into that whole story that he said, well, they played me off like I was a big dum-dum. Well, I mean, you were signing documents that you didn't know what they were.
I have never, and I won't even sign up for iTunes because I'm not reading that stupid agreement. And I saw a South Park episode one time that mortified me. So,
Stephen Tao.
Android products we go.
Stephen Tao, the Baltimore Ravens fan, says he would have made more money, too, if he was better at football. He ain't wrong.
Sometimes facts hurt. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but facts hurt a lot more. Have you heard the name Oliver Anthony?
Sounds familiar.
Well, he's a gent with just a heck of a story and a heck of a song called Rich Men North of Richmond.
Oh, this is the Facebook guy that looks like your brother.
He does look like my brother. I mean, he looks like my brother if my brother had never been allowed to see the sun. But he is a whale of a songwriter, and he is a whale of a singer. Well, I learned a few things about this Goodman as I was doing prep for this show. Do you know where that song came from? It's currently #1 on iTunes. A radio station, Radio WV, asked this kid to come in and record a song, and that's what he came with. It's some little tiny radio station. That's why the video looks the way it does. They have a nice camera, and they shot this video, and they went, oh, boy. And it is the working class really seems to like this song. I really like this song, and I really like this guy. Now let me tell you a little more about Oliver Anthony. He's 30 days sober. Apparently he's had mental health and alcohol issues, and he just broke down, not a religious man, and said, if God will allow me to chase my dream, I will get sober. He's 30 some odd days sober now because this was just a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he's already gone nanners like this. #1 on iTunes. Now, I tell you all of that to tell you this. He had a show scheduled in a place called Barco, North Carolina. I've lived here for 30 years. I've never heard of this place. It's near the Outer Banks. It's not in it, but it's close. He had a show at the Morris Farm Market. I want you to think about what I just said. The guy with the #1 single on iTunes in the world played at a farmer's market. There are 600 people in Barco, North Carolina. How many do you think showed up to this particular farmer's market when they found out he was playing there?
1,500 people.
It was well more than that. It was over 3 times the population of the city.
Wow.
Good for this kid. I love seeing stories like this. And, you know, maybe I'm a simple man or a naive man. But everything I found out about this guy, I just absolutely love him. And I love this song. I find myself screaming a certain line of it. You can deduce what that is. If you've listened to the show for a long time, you probably figured it out. Because I don't like the government.
Mm-hmm.
Doot, 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 doot.
I only heard a couple of bars of it that you played me earlier today.
It's fantastic.
It sounds pretty good.
But I will say this. Can all of you stop sending it to me and say, hey, is this you? First of all, that dude's a little shorter than me. Second of all, beard, much more glorious than mine. Third of all, hair, not nearly as glorious as mine. And he's a way better guitar player than I am.
Do you know how to play the guitar?
I know how to play the guitar just enough that if I ever decided I wanted to sing on stage, I could make you think I knew how to play
so
it.
You don't look like a dum-dum.
I can do the Darius Rucker thing of like, hey, look at me. I know 3 chords. They taught me to go beep, boop, boop. Let's go. Beep, boop, boop. Beep, bop, boop. Beep, bop, boop. Beep, bop, boop. That's what I could do. That's Jeremy's. That's his life as a guitar player.
Wonderful.
It's much better for that guy. He's
a
awesome.
virtuoso.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Jeremy Green.
I'm a man of many skills. I'm a talented, but
I know 3 chords. That's it.
Yeah, and they all go beep bop boop.
That's actually how they show up on the scales.
Yeah, it's actually
sheet music.
If you ever see me reading sheet music, that's what it says. Beep bop boop.
Indeed.
What's the F chord? Am I supposed to flick you off now? Is that the F card?
Hey, you're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Week 1 of the preseason has wrapped up. Green Bay Packers thumped the Cincinnati Bengals 36-19. Did you almost die right there? Did you almost choke to death on your water?
No, it's not water, and I forgot I put Monster in it, and it scared me a lot.
Okay.
I hit carbonation and went, whoa, that's not what that was supposed to be.
36-19, Packers beat the Bengals over the weekend, and Jordan Love, overreaction time. The Green Bay Packers, they're on their way to a division championship with Jordan Love, 7 out of 10 for 70 yards and a touchdown. A pretty nice throw to Romeo Doubs for the touchdown. So what was your takeaway? Is it an overreaction that people are just saying we're going to be just fine? Or do they need to check themselves?
Depends on what your definition of fine is.
That we're still going to be the class of this division.
That's an overreaction. Could you be a playoff team? That is not an overreaction. I wanted to see Jordan Love play reps where he's been getting first-team reps. I did not like him coming out. I will be 100% honest about that. We did that draft. Anybody that's been around since the beginning, they know that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he had arm talent. And I'm going to tell you something, and this is going to be kind of, you always say I look at things in a 3D chess kind of way. I've seen the growth of Zach Wilson behind Aaron Rodgers. I'm closer to the Jets than I'm the Packers. I can't help but believe that Jordan Love has learned a considerable amount sitting behind Aaron Rodgers for the last 3 years. And I saw a little bit of growth. Is it 100% ones-on-ones and I'm rushing out to grab Jordan Love stock? No. But do I think with the amount of talent that team has that he can be serviceable? Yeah, I do. Look at Dontavian Wicks. Hey, you remember how many times I said that name in the preseason?
Mm-hmm.
In the pre-draft season, excuse me? Yeah, he's pretty talented. And if you look down that list, you remember all those things I said about the Falcons where you're playing nothing but retreads, and so what did you glean from this?
Mm-hmm.
The Green Bay Packers did the exact opposite. Now, they don't have any vets to play, so I can only give you so much credit for that. But, I mean, I'm just looking at the guys that were targeted in this game. They probably have 10 NFL-level targets that either caught passes or were targeted. That's what you use the preseason for. And so, yeah, I'm looking at Green Bay now going, you're not in as much trouble as I thought. I mean, I still think Detroit's probably better than you, and I think Chicago has probably a higher upside than you, but I could be wrong. And I will tell you definitively, you looked light years better than Minnesota. So I would say when we put out our Week 1 power rankings, I will have Green Bay a little higher than I thought. And it's in large part to they looked really good against the Bengals. It's a lot. It's a big accumulation of talent. This is not a stereotypical bad team. And that's one of the ways I evaluate things. I start comparing you to teams I've seen in the past. I don't have a really good comp to Green Bay because I think they've drafted obnoxiously well. I don't have a comp to a team that just fell off the world drafting that well. Usually I can go down the line of this is where it went sideways, and these are all the requisite decisions that have crushed you since. I didn't love the Jordan Love thing, and I still don't. But other than that, I don't have a lot of, man, you shouldn't have done blank.
Mm-hmm.
No, you've drafted real well. You've had a lot of draft picks. Between Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers, you've had a ton of draft picks.
It was mentioned in the YouTube comments, 1s versus 2s. Cincinnati didn't play a whole lot of starters on the defense. So, again, that question comes up, what can you really glean from this? Okay, it looks good against the 2s. What makes you think it's going to work against the 1s when it comes time to play real games?
And I can't tell you it's going to. I can tell you Jordan Love looked like an NFL quarterback. I mean, where I'm at a lot of the time is, did you look like you belonged here? And I can say that about everybody that played for the Green Bay Packers. And so I'm not going to tell you that they're winning the division because I don't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, Vegas still has them as the least likely team in the NFC North to win this division. I don't agree with that. I would say they're in a dead heat with the Bears, and they're slightly behind the Lions. And if you told me they won the division now, I wouldn't be stunned. I don't know that I would have ever been stunned, other than I keep coming back to Jordan Love, just going, I don't know that you have that high in talent.
Right.
I don't know that Jared Goff and Justin Fields do either. So that's to me is one of the most interesting divisions in this league.
Okay, flip side for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Don't care about anything.
Don't care about anything that happens.
Cincinnati's one of those teams. Hey, you want to lather up or suit up the old water boys? You knock yourself out. Don't care.
Yep. Obviously, they're playing without Joe Cool as he rehabs the injury. Mm-hmm. There's no reason for him to play in the preseason. They did play Jonah Williams a lot at that right tackle spot. They seem locked in that he's going to be the guy there.
Oh, weird. I think somebody else said that in April. It's a forward-thinking man.
Mm-hmm. But I think this team's set up for success, and there are some that want to jump off the ledge of, oh my goodness, it doesn't look too good. Lost to the Packers. Yeah, but who didn't play? And who's going to play in week 1? It's more trying to glean what the Packers are. And
the Packers are a talented roster that you could tell me right now go 5-12 or go 9-8. Wanted to say 10-7, but I couldn't get there.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell me they fall anywhere in that because that roster is talented. It all falls on Jordan Love. And I saw enough to go, he's not as bad, but I'm not losing my mind like everybody else did. It looked like an NFL team. We had to take a quick break. And when we come back, we got breaking news, people. First breaking news post week 1 of the preseason. Let's go!
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slowing 26 eastbound near Long Shoals Road. Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. Volume is busy but moving well. Smoky Park Highway, no problems. Patton Avenue, clear of any incidents. New Leicester Highway, no backups. Biltmore Avenue moving well. Meadow Road and Amboy Road, no delays. Sweeten Creek Road, no problems. Hendersonville Road moving well. Charlotte Highway, no delays. Checking the drive time from Biltmore Forest to Fletcher via Hendersonville Road southbound. Drive time currently 21 minutes. I'm Lee Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by ComparionInsurance.com.
Hi, we're a Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent, local agent, local agent.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This week at Macy's, it's the perfect time to save big on updates you need now, like men's looks from And Now This, INC, and more, 25% off. And fine jewelry to finish any look, 35 to 70% off. Plus, shop back-to-school specials, like 25 to 50% off backpacks from Jansport, High Sierra, and more. Star Rewards members earn rewards on every purchase, except gift cards, services, and fees. Learn more at Macys.com/Star Rewards. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
Link your Ingalls Advantage card to your child's school, giving the advantage to those who really need it. That's our pledge to you.
Under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
It has officially happened. Ezekiel Elliott has found a home with the New England Patriots. 1 year, up to $6 million.
Wow. Okay.
That's a lot, but I will bet you a lot of that's in incentives.
Mm-hmm.
And now the lifelong Jets fan is going to say something that's probably going to break Tank's brain on camera.
Okay.
I actually like this a lot.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
What have we said is the problem with New England? You don't have a ton of guys on the outside.
Right.
So what are you going to have to do? You're
Run
going to
the
have
damn
to run.
ball.
You're going to have to run the damn ball. You got to running back in Ramondre Stevenson. What did he do in college? What was that? He played fullback.
Mm-hmm.
That's not easy to game plan against. And you say I'm being three-dimensional chess. You say whatever you want to. Ezekiel Elliott is one of the better pass pro running backs in the league. Just doing the gritty things that nobody talks about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he is a great running back at this point, but he's a great piece in that offense. I hated it with the Jets. The Jets have been talking about this for months. I hated it. I hated it with the Cincinnati Bengals. I have guys that can do that.
Mm-hmm.
New England, one of my best weapons is Ramondre Stevenson. I need somebody that allows him to be as multiple as humanly possible.
There it is.
Found it.
So they'll be running a lot of I
I know
formations.
everybody thinks that anytime New England does anything that I'm just going to beat it senseless and say, Bill's stupid. Oh, I get this one completely. And I'm not going to lie to you, the more I've thought about it, the more I get it.
Yep.
I didn't understand how he got out of New England without them signing him. They've got a lot of young running backs. None of them do that one thing I really need them to do. I'm going to draw a comparison, and it's going to be the weirdest comp you've ever heard in your life. Mac Jones, Justin Fields.
Okay.
They have completely different skill sets.
Mm-hmm.
They have an equal problem. They have a big weakness. You got to steer into it somehow. And this is a way to do that.
Okay. So a lot of I formations, a lot of two tight end sets.
Which is what New England was going to
Patriots, yeah.
Which is what New England was going to do anyway.
Mm-hmm. Now you've just added another big body in the backfield.
You've added a guy that can really run between the guards and do all of the things that you need to do in a Bill O'Brien, Bill Belichick offense. I think this is actually really smart. Do I think it changes anything in terms of wins and losses? Not really.
Mm-mm.
But it adds a dimension.
Yep. And it's one of those things that, it could keep you more competitive in the games that you're going to lose. But I don't know.
He said that, not me. I was being nice. I said all nice things.
What? I'm not trying to be spicy. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying it doesn't move the needle, like you said, as far as wins and losses. But when it comes down to the end of the game, maybe it does add another wrinkle that I can get more out of my young quarterback.
Bill Buttigieg said, don't hate it. Probably means Pierre Strong's getting ready to be working at the Wawa. Yep, that's about how I saw it, too.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Potential for thunderstorms tonight and tomorrow. Looks like the heavier weather will be here for the top of the work week with a pretty decent chance for storms around the mountains tonight and tomorrow morning. And then less of a rain chance and cooler temperatures with lower humidity starting Wednesday. So looking forward to that. Nice little drop to the humidity here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're at 70 degrees tonight with thunderstorms, scattered storms Tuesday, 80. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is flowing 26 eastbound near Long Shoals Road. Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. Volume is busy but moving well. Smoky Park Highway, no problems. Patton Avenue, clear of any incidents. New Leicester Highway, no backups. Biltmore Avenue moving well. Meadow Road and Amboy Road, no delays. Sweeten Creek Road, no problems. Hendersonville Road moving well. Charlotte Highway, no delays. Checking the drive time from Biltmore Forest to Fletcher via Hendersonville Road southbound. Drive time currently 21 minutes. I'm Lee Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by ComparionInsurance.com.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent, local agent, local agent.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the Cowboys and offensive lineman Zach Martin agree on a restructured deal that will pay him more than $18 million for each of the next 2 seasons. Martin had been holding out from training camp. Meanwhile, free agent running back Ezekiel Elliott says on social media today he will sign with the Patriots. As expected, Colts running back Jonathan Taylor returned to camp today. He's still on the PUP list with an ankle injury and still unhappy about his contract. ESPN's Dan Graziano.
He still wants a new contract. If they don't want to give it to him, he wants to be traded, and I think this thing is far from over. Just because he returns to Indianapolis and rejoins the team this week, I don't think means that this situation is resolved.
Dan Graziano. Cardinals tight end Zach Ertz now cleared to practice. He's coming back from torn ligaments in his left knee last November. Shortstop Wander Franco of the Rays goes on the restricted list today. He'll miss at least the next 6 games. He's being investigated by MLB.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and have the parts you need fast, along with excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'Reillyauto.com.
Now your chance at $1,000 and a trip to our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Text the nationwide keyword FESTIVAL to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's FESTIVAL to 200-200.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Green, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingalls Supermarkets.
This is the Sportsocracy, and we are live on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 on an Overreaction Monday. Heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. You can also see us live in the Ingalls studio on the YouTubes. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel while you're on the front page of the website, sign up for the Battle for the Belt. It's part 2 of the contest, second year, same great charity, same great fun. Proceeds going to Eblen Charities St. Nicholas Project once again this year, and this year we have 2 belts to give out, 2 different contests, the Standard DFS contest and the Eliminator Challenge as well.
It doesn't matter if you live in Beer City, you can be Beer City's ultimate fantasy football champion and have to take a very lovely, fully well-built title wrestling belt away from me. So if you think I'm a big moron, sign up for that and you can beat me.
QR codes are up on the screen right now on the YouTube stream, and of course they are on the front page of the website. Actionable links as well to get you to the contest. You can sign up for both for a flat donation of $75, or each contest costs $50 a piece. And getting in on the Battle for the Belt also gets you access to the Mullet Man, the Canada Dan, and the Georgia Fan Fantasy Football Preview, Fantasy Football Draft Guide, which is coming along nicely.
Yes. I was in Charlotte way longer than I expected. I meant to have it out Sunday night, but we're very close.
We're very close to getting it all out so you can have your definitive guide for your drafts this year. And also, let's see, just one more day to get in on the Ultimate Fantasy Draft contest.
We will have your winner in the 4 o'clock hour of tomorrow's show.
Right. So if you want to get a ticket for that, you can also find the links to the ticket for the Ultimate Fantasy Draft contest on the website and on the description of the YouTube videos.
If you are in the Battle for the Belts, you will have an invite to whoever wins the Ultimate Draft contest. You'll have an invite to that. So, those things work together.
That is a fantasy draft hosted by us. We'll do all of the reading of the picks. We'll have the peanut gallery that will make all their comments. The Dude Takes podcast going to come in and join us for that. We'll stream the draft online, give you the red carpet treatment, all of that. Get your tickets today because, as Jeremy said, we'll be announcing the winner of the Ultimate Fantasy Draft contest tomorrow at 4 o'clock here on ESPN Asheville. It is an Overreaction Monday, and we continue going down the results of the first week of the preseason. The San Francisco 49ers, this wasn't pretty.
Eesh.
They got killed by the Las Vegas Raiders 34-7 on the scoreboard. Aiden O'Connell, a lot being made out of his showing for the Las Vegas Raiders.
He's the backup for the Raiders. If Jimmy Garoppolo can't go, that's the guy for a year that they will trot out there to try to see what they have.
Mm-hmm.
They have loved him all camp long.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of the camp things, he's been a rookie. Specifically, he's been a rookie that went in, the 5th round? So you can't expect him to be super polished. He looked really good in this game. And I will look forward to seeing him in the 2 remaining preseason games. I'm not making a definitive on him yet. I've heard a lot of good.
As he went for 15 of 18, 141, and a touchdown. And then on the flip side, you had San Francisco, which nothing looked good for them. Trey Lance. What did you pull away that looked good?
Sam Darnold.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Darnold looked good.
Okay.
Why he's playing with the backups, I have absolutely no idea. Let me say this as clearly as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Trey Lance is not going to get better without reps. So now I want to elaborate on something I said a long time ago about the quarterback situation of the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy has a range of outcomes that's very small.
Mm-hmm.
His highest high side and his lowest low side, they're not that discrepant. They're also not very high. Can he be a 25th best quarterback in the NFL? Probably.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. This roster ain't good enough for you to be a 25th best quarterback in the NFL, and you go to a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem I've had the whole time. Everybody takes it like I'm throwing shade at the kid. You have Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle. Here's the problem. Your offensive line is awful. Genuinely horror awful. Trey Lance holds on to the ball too long and tries to make too many things happen with his feet. That is a combination that does not work out. Brock Purdy is just a whittlefeller, and I fully think he is injury-prone, and you're going to see it in short order. I think Sam Darnold's the only one that has a high side here. It's the only one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he got into the red zone, didn't quite go his way. All right. He's playing with a bunch of dudes that'll probably be selling car insurance in 3 weeks.
Right. But that begs the question, why?
Because you know what Sam is.
If
you're trying to get reps for Trey Lance, and every time he gets reps, he looks worse than he did the time before. That's a bad sign. San Francisco has told us 100 times without telling us they're not going to be patient enough with Trey Lance. It didn't make sense at the time. It doesn't really make sense now. And at this point, those two need to split apart. This is like the relationship of the goober friend that we all have, dude, meets a girl who, very pretty, but, well, she's a little crazy. And you two need to split apart right now before one of you kills the other, because that's what we're all seeing on the and looking at you as loving friends. Trey Lance may sink the San Francisco 49ers if they're not careful. You're not going to put the time into him. You've made it abundantly clear. Sam Darnold was your life raft. Brock Purdy is your safe Kyle Shanahan kind of quarterback.
Yep.
I, with every passing day, believe in the San Francisco 49ers less and less. Because I can't figure out, where are you better than you were? What position on this roster is better than it has been? I get that the NFC's not good. Be honest with yourself. Name me a position group that the San Francisco 49ers are better than the Philadelphia Eagles.
Ooh, I don't think there is one.
There's not one. Give me a position that the San Francisco 49ers are better than the Dallas Cowboys. There's not one. Wide receivers close, and 2 of your 3 are hurt all the time.
Between Debo and Brandon Ayuk?
Debo and George Kittle.
Oh, Kittle.
Ayuk is very healthy, and I love Brandon Ayuk. I like Debo. Hurt all the time. George Kittle, love you. Hurt all the time. You don't have the ability. I've read this book with San Francisco before, where you're thin, you're very talented, but you're thin at the top. You go through a little rash of injuries, and the next thing you know, you're awful. I've seen it. Do you remember the Nick Mullins, C.J. Beathard year?
Oh, yeah.
The difference between C.J. Mullins, C.J. Beathard, Nick Mullins, and Brock Purdy, it ain't that much. And I'll throw Sam Darnold in that. His bottom tier, ain't that not that different. He's more talented than all the other 3, but I don't see it.
Right.
I am officially to the point of I don't see it with San Francisco anymore. We just look at them and go, because they have high-end, no doubt talent. Bosa, the guys I've already mentioned, Fred Warner, who I haven't said yet, Dre Greenlaw. Look what's behind it. What's behind it just got absolutely annihilated by the Las Vegas Raiders. It was never close. Never for a second did I look at that 49er team and go, on every level, you don't belong on this field with the Raiders. Oh, but it's just a preseason. I get that. This is a really thin team. A lot of these guys are going to make this team. And I wasn't impressed by not nary any of it.
No, it did not. It did not look good, and I don't see how you can look at Trey Lance as anything but a failure. I mean, just absolute unmitigated bust in this draft.
But it goes back to what I said when you drafted him. You're a win now team, because that team was a win now team even when they did this.
Yes,
drafting a raw quarterback, that doesn't make any sense. And now 2 years in, was it 3 years in?
3 years.
You're in year 3, and now you're just looking at Brock Purdy, like it was said in the YouTube comments by Chauncey Majors. Shanahan trusts Purdy more because he turns the ball over less. I get that. You had that in Jimmy Garoppolo. He's better than Brock Purdy, and to me, it's not even close.
The difference is about $30 million, though.
I get that. I 100% get that. Where did you spend the money? Oh, we got Javon Hargrave. Awesome. Your defensive line was never in doubt. Your secondary's in doubt. Your offensive line, I'll just be really honest with you, and I'm going to pull this from my belt loops. Your offensive line absolutely sucks. And you're putting this little tiny quarterback behind it, or Sam Darnold, who has also shown a predilection to get hurt. I've read this book. I've read it. I've seen the movie. Nothing changed. I am so down on San Francisco, it's pathetic, and it's getting worse by the day.
Yep. If you just look at the stats, it looks like Trey Lance had a decent day. quarterback rating or passer rating was 111. He was 10 of 15 for 112 yards and a touchdown. Normally that'd be fine. Stats looked fine. It was the eye test that you looked at and went, "Oh God. What is it?" He doesn't even look like he's been through 2 years of training in the NFL. Looks completely lost on some plays. Can't get the ball out of his hands. It's just an unmitigated disaster with Trey Lance. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know what you think you can get out of him, because I thought that was the play. The play is to play Trey and put him out there so teams can rush out and get him. Nobody's going to rush out to get this.
All right, let's say he had been flawless. Who's rushing out to get it? Name me the team in the NFL that even has a precursory interest. That's the reason we've been so locked on Atlanta. Because that's the only team we look at and go, you're too good to end up in the top 10, but you're so bad at quarterback that it'll keep you from being much further away from that. There's not another one of those teams. Washington, if it doesn't work out with Sam Howell, you're in the top 5.
Yep. Tampa
Giants,
Bay, same thing.
Giants, you're locked in on Daniel Jones. Tampa Bay, you roll with Baker. If it's awful, you're in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. I could keep doing that. You have painted yourself into a corner, and it's not going to go well. Now, I'm going to add something onto this that I don't think I've said before. Have you looked at the 49ers schedule?
We have.
You play in the god-awful NFC. You don't play 2 back-to-back bad teams at all. You don't do it one time all year. You catch the Cardinals and the Rams early. You know what you have on each side of that? At the Steelers, Giants, Cowboys. Oh, and at the Browns on the backside of that. I don't like any of that. I don't like any of that when I'm looking at your quarterback situation going, this is top 5 worst in the league, and nobody wants to talk about it.
Yeah, the ESPN did their position rankings the other day, and they were last, I believe. It was either them. It was either them or Atlanta. One was 31, one was 32.
San Francisco is the team that the gambler in me is short selling this stock as hard as I can, and I'm hoping you're buying it so that I can keep buying Seattle Seahawks shares, because that's what I want. And if Kyler Murray somehow, sports bra notwithstanding, is able to come back, that ain't the layup that it looks like. I mean, I'm not saying they're good. I'm just saying it's with Colt McCoy, you can beat them 37-0. With Kyler Murray, it's a headache. That's 2 more games on that schedule. If they catch Arizona with Kyler, way different. I'm not telling you San Francisco's not going to make the playoffs if all things stay equal. I'm just saying they have way less margin for error than people think.
It is the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Oh, do we have to?
100%.
Do we have to? All right, when we come back, we'll talk about the Succaneers.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 eastbound slowing east of Long Shoals Road to approaching Airport Road. Patton Avenue problem-free. New Leicester Highway, no backups. Smoky Park Highway, incident-free. Hendersonville Road, no delays. Sweeten Creek Road moving well. Mills Gap Road, no backups. Cane Creek Road, clear of any incidents. Checking the drive time from Bent Creek to Avery Creek via NC 191 southbound Bavard Road. Drive time 9 minutes. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by ComparionInsurance.com.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent, local agent, local agent.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com.
This is my Carolina Panthers bobblehead, my 04 NFC Championship jersey, and my Panthers scratch-off from the North Carolina Education Lottery.
Whoa, you could win $200,000 and even 4 season tickets to the Panthers Vault? Why haven't you scratched it?
It's in mint condition.
New Panthers Scratch-Offs. Enter to win season tickets to the Vault, a field-level premium seating experience. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.23. Carolina Panthers is a registered trademark of Panthers Football, LLC. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Happy 62nd birthday, Granddad.
Thanks, sweetheart.
I got you this.
A mug. Oh, thank you. What does it say? Beware, if you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of hospitalization from RSV. respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Are you Beer City's best fantasy football player? Your chance to prove it is back. The Sportsocracy's Battle for the Belt is back for year 2 with 2 ways to win. Our standard contest and the new Eliminator challenge for the most hardcore of football fans. Play fantasy football with us every week of the NFL season and compete for a cause with proceeds benefiting Eblen Charities St. Nicholas Project. Register today at thesportsocracy.com and take your shot at the title of Beer City's fantasy football champion.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cot?
Back in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville, this is the Sportsocracy and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, they tried to do stuff against the Pittsburgh Steelers over the weekend, and, well, it didn't look great. I mean, all of the talk is about Baker Mayfield. 8 of 9, 63 yards, threw a touchdown pass, and it's all, he looked better than we thought he would.
He made one really nice 10-yard throw. Whoopie woo. I've seen him do that before.
Mm-hmm. Kyle Trask.
Baker Mayfield is like the car that we've all had that anytime you need it, it'll let you down, and you're trying to take it on vacation. Yeah, don't be shocked when you're in Columbia on the side of the road and your shoes are melting to the sidewalk.
Right.
Like I don't know why this is so hard for people to figure out.
Kyle Trask goes 6 of 10 for 99 yards. Did throw an interception. He was also sacked 3 times in the ball game.
He is genuinely terrible.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Oh, he's awful.
I mean, he wasn't any worse than Baker. He did throw
in this game. He was worse than Baker.
He did throw the interception, but other than that, I mean, he still looked like he had more ability to push the ball down the field more than Baker did, because I don't think Baker had much air yards on anything. At least Kyle was showing off some arm mid-range.
Yeah.
It wasn't great, and I saw the same things in this game that pissed me off royally about this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team under Todd Bowles.
Mm-hmm.
In the first 2 drives of the game, we had 5 false start penalties, which just shows me nothing's really changed. Whole bunch of that sideline to sideline bull crap that they were running last year that did not work with Tom Brady, and somehow you think that's going to work with Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask. And then, oh yeah, you cannot run the damn ball.
Yeah, Todd Bowles has it's a new offense. It's never really worked. It's called RRPP, run, pass, punt.
Exactly. It's just 4th and 1, trying to gain it on the ground, and a 3-yard loss. It's the same thing as it was last year, only your team is much worse than last year's team was. I have 0 hopes. 0 hopes. If we win 3 games, I'll be ecstatic, because that way you at least avoid the offer, and you're going to have one of the top picks in the draft.
Well, you're not going to go over. So, yay. Good for Tampa Bay. Can we be done with that now?
Yes, please. The Pittsburgh Steelers, on the other hand, did you see anything in that game that made you swoon? Because there was a lot of swooning going on over Kenny Pickett and the way that the Pittsburgh Steelers were moving that ball against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. But I went, that's more on Tampa Bay.
I will say the same thing about Pittsburgh that I said about Green Bay. And I'm higher on Pittsburgh. I see the talent. I see the functionality. Mm-hmm. That's what I want to see in the preseason. Mm-hmm. I have now seen from you what I need to see. I'm not going to gain anything else from the next two preseason games. I'll see you in week 1. I'm the Pittsburgh and Green Bay. I'm in the same spot. I'm also in the same spot with two other teams that played, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Baltimore Ravens. Mm-hmm. Where is this thought that Josh Johnson's going to beat out Tyler Huntley coming from?
I have no idea.
Did I fall asleep and everybody on the planet started doing drugs?
I know.
Because that doesn't make any sense to me.
No, one of them made a Pro Bowl last year.
Stop that. Stop that.
It's never going to go. It's never going to get old for me.
It's long been old for me.
No, Tyler Huntley had an okay day. Did you see it? Did you see anything especially fun from the Ravens that made you think that they're on the level of the Philadelphia Eagles?
No, you know what I see out of these two teams, and I think this in the preseason every single year. My God, these teams draft well. Like when you get down to your third string guys, and it's dudes that I was really high on at some point in a draft a year or 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. Or Darius Washington was the name that kept popping up on the screen for me, where I went, I mean, I know he's 4'6", standing in a pair of high heels in a phone book on the side of a hill, but he's a good football player.
Yeah.
And I just kept doing that. Going, man, certain teams. Do you ever notice that watching? You don't watch as much preseason as I do. But it is so funny to me to watch like the second half. And you go through some of these names. Charlie Kohler. I saw him pop up in the second half and went, man, he'd be a starting tight end for 12 teams in this league right now. Mm-hmm. And you just look at the Eagles and the Ravens and go, I don't really care. Now, I don't think Baltimore's ever going to lose another preseason game. How many have they won in a row now?
Oh, I did. Stephen Tao in the comments, he could tell us how many it is. It's a lot.
24.
24.
They've won 24 preseason games in a row.
Yikes.
How in the world does a team do that?
Scheme. It's scheme and discipline, and everybody from top to bottom on the roster knows what they're doing. To me, that's what makes a really good coach. Now, you would love to see that translate into the regular season and into the postseason, but I mean, if I'm making wagers on preseason football, first off, somebody call somebody because I'm being threatened.
11-5 overs. Let's go. Hey, your bank account will thank you just like mine did.
Right.
Because I bet every one of them.
But I don't think that I would ever bet against certain coaches in the preseason. And John Harbaugh's got to be at the top of it.
I look at certain teams like that and just go, good gracious, you're so deep. All right, I'll give you an example. San Francisco's not a good drafting team.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. All right, but they hit Fred Warner. That's like saying you're a good driver because one time you drove to work and you didn't curb your wheels on the sidewalk. Awesome. How about all the dents in it from where you hit people on the side of the road? You're not good at this. There's really only one player that could get hurt for Baltimore or Philadelphia where I go, that changes the way I look at you.
It's a quarterback.
And even then, let's say Jalen Hurts decided to whack surfboards and Lamar Jackson took up parachuting.
Mm-hmm.
If it's Tyler Huntley and Marcus Mariota, are you really looking at those teams going, well, they're 5-12 now? Because I'm not.
I mean, that's
Philadelphia.
That's a solid 8-9.
Philadelphia would still make the playoffs in the NFC, and Baltimore would contend for a wild card in the AFC. Sorry, they're just better than your team.
Mm-hmm.
They draft better, they run better, the coaching staffs are better, minus Nick Sirianni, who I'm still not sold on, but getting closer. And they just find a way to put competitive teams out there time and time again.
Right. I think it's a very good team.
Oh, and by the way, just throwing this out there, have to bring back the Jet thing.
Yeah.
Our GM that worked for the Baltimore Ravens and the Philadelphia Eagles, weird. As soon as he took this team over, it's weird. They've gotten better every single year.
Yeah, everything
I wonder why that could be.
Because they're very good at hiring.
If I was an owner in the NFL, I would only look at those two franchises. I'm hiring somebody from the two of you, and I'll just keep doing it until I get it right.
Right. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville on an Overreaction Monday. What did we glean from the first week of the NFL preseason? Has your name has what you saw changed anything you thought about some of these teams? We'll continue the overreactions next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Potential for thunderstorms tonight and tomorrow. Looks like the heavier weather will be here for the top of the work week with a pretty decent chance for storms around the mountains tonight and tomorrow morning. And then less of a rain chance and cooler temperatures with lower humidity starting Wednesday. So looking forward to that. Nice little drop to the humidity here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're at 70 degrees tonight with thunderstorms, scattered storms Tuesday, 80. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Light delays 26 eastbound between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. 26 westbound is slowing near Fanning Bridge Road. On the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, traffic volume is busy, but volume moving well. Patton Avenue, no incidents. New Leicester Highway, problem-free. Smoky Park Highway, no backups. Charlotte Highway, no delays. Sweeten Creek Road, moving well. Hendersonville Road, southbound in the Fletcher area, approaching Fanning Bridge Road, is slow. I'm Lemon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by ComparionInsurance.com.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent, local agent, local agent.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
At Taco Bell, we like to keep mornings simple because before 11 a.m., you're not down for whatever.
No.
You're not interested in trying new things.
No.
You want a breakfast that's toned down and delicious, like the Breakfast Crunch Wrap with fluffy eggs, sausage, melty cheese, and a crispy hash brown in a grilled tortilla.
I want to eat that.
See? You may not be a morning person, but it's morning, and you're a person. Taco Bell breakfast, served until 11 a.m. At participating Taco Bell stores during breakfast hours only while supplies last.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent, local agent, local agent.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
Link your Ingalls Advantage card to your child's school, giving the advantage to those who really need it. That's our pledge to you.
States. God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
This is the Sportsocracy, and it's time for the most important message of the day, Jeremy Green.
Don't do crimes!
Yep, and there's crimes being done in the city of Asheville. Asheville Police
it's
Department.
us crimes?
Yes, this is an us crime. This is a local crime story where the Asheville Police Department is seeking help from the public, trying to find whoever may be responsible for torching 2 APD vehicles early this morning. The fire department responded to a parking lot near the 30 block of Lindale Avenue in the early morning of today to extinguish 2 police cars that had been set on fire. The unoccupied vehicles, thankfully, were completely destroyed. Investigators working to continue with the Asheville Fire Marshal's office to determine what happened and to find those responsible. Anyone who may have seen anything is asked to call 252-1110, or you can send an anonymous tip using the tip 2 APD. That's tip the number 2 APD on your smartphone application to 847411. So tip 2 APD 847411. And this comes after late last week, city council members, 4 of them, sent a letter, an open letter to the public, calling for increased police presence downtown, calling for more investment into the police department. Of course, doing the 180 from the whole defund the police thing that they went through for a couple of years, but now they're saying it's a bridge too far. And Maggie Ullman, who was one of the authors of that letter, she had her house attacked and vandalized and car windows smashed out and tires slashed. Obviously, I would think from the people who are upset that we want more law and order in the city of Asheville, and I have, to me, little doubt that these are the same people. I'm not a cop. I'm not an investigator. I can't make that determination, but I bet you there's a short list of people that the folks over at APD are looking at.
Yeah, I can't confirm nor deny that because, like you said, not a cop.
Right.
And that letter was 100% correct. And if you don't like that, well, sometimes facts hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Sticks and stones may break my bones. Facts cut you deep.
Whoever it may be, they're at a high level of the FAFO scale right now.
Yep.
And I know
stop doing crimes.
We know the chief of police pretty well. And
yeah,
it's going to end well for you.
Stop doing crimes and be nice to a cop today. My story is a nameless story. All right. This came off Reddit, and the names have been redacted because of the innocence involved.
Mm-hmm.
Man and woman get married. They hire a wedding photographer. Wedding photographer can't find anybody to be his second shooter. If you've never done photography, second shooter is the person that does all of the things that the photographer really doesn't want to do. All right, so it's almost like the apprentice who comes in and does all of the things, learning the business from somebody that's done it longer. He couldn't find one. So he contracted a 20-year-old woman.
Okay.
Who came in and was his second shooter. At some point over the course of the night, the second shooter took her shot at the groom.
Oh!
And she succeeded.
Uh-oh.
And the reason that we know this is because when she succeeded, apparently some photography pictures were taken of it, some photographs.
What, on the same card as the ones from the wedding? No!
And she sent them to the bride.
Oh!
Who is now asking the photographer for a full refund.
Yes.
That is not fair, okay? The photographer did nothing wrong.
Didn't he?
And look, he hired a contract. She doesn't work for me. Do you want me to shoot your wedding, yes or no? Because I need somebody else that'll hold the camera. Have you been to a fast food restaurant recently? It's hard to find good help these days.
Mm-hmm.
So, I pose this question. What should the photographer do? Because I have a theory. Do you give the refund?
Yes. 100%.
I don't. I ask one question. Did you stay with him? Because if you did, I expect full payment.
Okay.
If you left him, then I'm going to sue the contractor for breach of contract because, I'm not saying I put it in the contract, don't diddle the groom, but from now on I will. Every single contract I do, that'll be a clause.
Right. Yeah, no.
That's my path.
You got to give her a refund.
Oh, if you stayed with him, no way. Seacrest out. That's a you problem. All right? You yell at him. I got zero out of this. I had to deal with you. I had to deal with him. And I had to deal with the diddler. All right?
The diddler.
I'm out. I am not getting
bad
hosed.
Batman villain.
100%. Mr. Freeze, the Riddler.
Only he goes to another place in the prison.
That's Sports Take ESPN. I knew if you give him 3 hours, eventually he's going to have one.
No, I'm fully on the side of you give her the refund and you hope this just goes away. Because if not, I think you're getting sued.
As the small business owner, you get hoosed way too often.
Yeah, but
you must stand up.
Yeah, but you did this. Like you
didn't do it. He
you
did
brought
nothing.
her into the situation
because he had to have somebody else to do it, or they would have complained. They would have complained if there was only one photographer at this wedding. And people ask, "Oh, how is this a crime?" Because adultery is a crime.
Look, photographers. Next time somebody says, "Don't you really need 2 photographers?" Just bring this story up and say, "Well, I could go find somebody off the street, but they might meet your husband." So
diddle. I believe that's the phrase that we have landed on here.
It's absolutely ridiculous, but yeah.
Look,
I think
this
I'm on
time
her side.
It's too hard
one.
to find good help. You've got to have a second photographer. I have done enough weddings. I can tell you cannot do it. At least not for the rate.
You can't do it justice.
You cannot do it justice by yourself. So I feel bad for this guy that he had to go contract somebody out, and well, you should hire better. But
absolutely,
that's your biggest problem.
That's on you. My contract was with you and your organization. Not pointing fingers here, but your organization screwed up my wedding, literally.
No, the contractor did, and I'm going to sue the contractor if I have to pay or if I have to refund you. Look, you're talking to a man that went to a fast food restaurant in the town we're sitting in the last 96 hours. I pulled up to the drive-through window, the little speaker. I sat there for 7 U.S. minutes. And do you know what I was told when the speaker activated?
What's that?
Hey, could you come inside? No, I can't come. I came through the drive-thru to go through the drive-thru. I don't want to come inside. Aiden, I want you to give me food through that window.
Wait, Aiden O'Connell's already practicing for his next
Jaden,
gig?
okay, it ends in Aiden.
It's
you
an
know
Aiden.
it. Okay. Ugh. I'm becoming an angry old man in my
overreaction.
That's how I wound up ruining that woman's day at Bank of America Stadium. She fawed and she quickly foed.
Overreactions for week 1 of the NFL preseason. The Buffalo Bills were 23-19 winners over the Indianapolis Colts. And Bradley Presley in the YouTube comments, he's been asking for 3 hours, and I think it's time that we give him what he is asking for.
Well, that's commitment. We appreciate it.
Yes.
The reason we didn't talk about it earlier is because I didn't really see much to discuss. But I am reasonably impressed, and this is going to be kind of a cyclical answer to this question.
Okay.
I am reasonably impressed that Anthony Richardson, who needs as many reps as he can get, didn't do the Kellen Mond thing. Or not Kellen Mond, the Dorian Thompson-Robinson thing. If you're a running quarterback in the NFL, in the preseason, you can look like Michael Vick if that's what you choose to do. That's what Dorian Thompson-Robinson did in his first game against the Jets. Second game, didn't do that. Still looked good. That's impressive to me. Anthony Richardson, it was very obvious to me that he still has a lot of work to go as a passer. But I like that Shane Steichen didn't take the layup of, hey, I can let you run 7 times. You're going to look fantastic. And the fan base gets hyped up. No. I need you to see that there are limitations as a thrower here. He needs reps. He needs as many passing attempts as I can get him. You're not going to see things to make you feel warm and fuzzy in the preseason. That actually makes me feel warm and fuzzy, is that you're not just taking that layup.
12 passes, connected on 7 of them, did Anthony Richardson. 67 yards. He threw an interception. He did run the ball twice for 7 yards.
He's going to run the ball twice in every game he plays for his entire life because he's as big and fast and physical as he is.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like Shane Steichen put a plan in place of, I'm going to make the most of these reps. And he did.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's anything to Gardner Minshew starting this season?
No.
I don't either.
No. I don't see a path for it. I think Indianapolis has to go all in with Anthony Richardson, and you do that from the jump because they can. I just don't see them as equal players, right?
I don't either.
I mean, like if it's Lamar Jackson and Tyler Huntley, like I understand that they're similar type players. There's nothing similar to me from Anthony Richardson to Gardner Minshew.
No, and the bigger thing for me with Indianapolis is the beginning is probably one of the best shots you're going to get.
Mm-hmm. You want to win some games, you better load them up early.
Yeah, because, I mean, look, I love Jacksonville, but it's predominantly the offense. I think the defense is fine. I'm not jumping up and down about it.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Texans, then the Ravens, which is tough, the Rams, the Titans, and then those Jaguars again.
Yep.
And I don't think the Titans are as good defensively as you do.
Yep.
You don't have another stretch like that all year. And I'm not saying it's as good as it could be. I would love to be playing some of these teams that couldn't stop a nosebleed with a roll of paper towels. I'm in the AFC. I don't get that. So I feel like he has to start from week one.
Biggest news for the Indianapolis Colts is that they are expecting Jonathan Taylor to rejoin the team after rehabbing his injury away from the team facility for the last couple of weeks. They say that he will be back in the building at some point this week.
And he'll be back on the field for week one. And you know why? Because NFL owners have universally said desire in one hand and defecate in the other and see which one fills up faster.
Right. Give you respect for that. The Battle of the LAs.
What, that I was able to say that in a way that was FCC compliant?
Absolutely.
That's also how I came up with diddle.
The Battle of the LAs, Chargers and the Rams. Chargers came out on top. LA Rams, did they learn anything? I mean, Stetson Bennett looked good.
Oh, good Lord. Did he look good?
I mean, he
look good?
He was as efficient as ever, and it was first time out. Sure.
Yeah. How many plays of this game did you watch?
Up to 5, maybe.
Yeah, I watched every snap of Stetson Bennett.
Yeah.
I watched every snap of Max Duggan.
Yeah,
and you know what I resolved?
What's that?
Man, you two are the most talked about third string quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. Because neither one of you were any good.
Uh-huh.
But I knew because he got better over time. He was awful to start with.
Mm-hmm.
I knew as it went on. Oh God, I see where this is headed.
It's
I
coming.
see where it's headed,
Mm-hmm.
and I hate it. I hate it so much.
The Stetson Bennett train rolls on.
Does he
in Los
deserve a
Angeles.
helmet? Maybe. Is he a 3? Okay. Is he a future starter in this league? Please stop doing that. It makes my brain hurt. It's like when people. It's like the old. I can't remember the. People say stupid things sometimes, and it just gets in your brain. There's that old Lewis Black joke. If it weren't for my horse, I wouldn't have spent that year in college. And it gets in your brain, and the next thing you know, brain aneurysm.
Right.
That's where that's what Stetson Bennett's going to do to me.
Much of the reaction to the Rams game is that Stetson Bennett is now the clear 2 behind Matthew Stafford for the Los Angeles Rams.
He's the clear 2?
That's what I
He's the
3 different articles this morning that said he's now the guy.
Well,
he's the guy that they're going to lean on.
Yeah,
if
the
something
AP
happens
also
to Matthew
reported.
Stafford.
The AP also reported that Matt Corral came in and saved the day for the Carolina Panthers.
He did. They did.
Did you get to page 1 of the thesaurus and just go, I'm done. That's it. I only need to know synonyms for this many words.
Yeah,
I'm out.
Bryce Young got pulled out after 2 series, and then it was the Matt Corral show.
And Matt Corral looked like sometimes he didn't know which end zone he was supposed to score in. Yeah, I saw nothing from Stetson Bennett that changed my mind. Brett Rippon, to me, is the backup.
Mm-hmm.
He started. Stetson Bennett came in for Sean McVay, who, by the way, puts absolutely nothing into the preseason. I will say this. Tyler Johnson, Eventually, somebody's going to figure out that kid can play. I don't know who it's going to be. But I am Josh Palmer level committed that Tyler Johnson is a good NFL football player.
Really?
You liked him too.
I did.
He played for your team.
Look, he was fine. He was fine for our team. I'm glad he's not there anymore. I'm glad he's gone for his sake.
Oh, I thought you meant for
no, not for us. Like, I'm just glad he has moved on from this poo sandwich that we're going to get with Baker Mayfield this year.
I was about to say, do we need to discuss some of these receivers on your roster? Because it gets thin in a hurry.
It does. Washington Commanders, Cleveland Browns. How about Sam? Old Sam Howell.
He started in Washington, it's unquestioned, and I think he's going to be really good. Is it going to translate to wins and losses? No, I don't know.
Nothing wonderful to take away about his performance, though.
I think he was solid. He didn't press it down the field much. I see a starting quarterback there. And I'll be honest with you, every layer of that, I saw a significant drop-off.
Mm-hmm.
You went from Sam Howell to Jacoby Brissett. To me, that's an NFL starter to an NFL backup. Then you went from Jacoby Brissett to Jake Fromm. That's from an NFL backup to a guy that should be working at Home Depot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a significant step down.
It is. Cleveland Browns. Do you feel any certain way about Deshaun Watson?
No.
I didn't either.
No, he got...
I mean, you went 3 of 3. Congratulations. You had 20 yards rushing in the game. Good job.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson's who I can't get away from.
Is he a thing?
I think he is.
How so? When the season starts, what are they gonna do with him? Is he going to be like the gadget guy?
It may have absolutely nothing to do with right now. I can tell you that kid has a future in this league. I don't know what it is. And I should have known this in the pre-draft process when the teams that were the most interested in him were Philadelphia, Baltimore, Cleveland. There were a couple others. Atlanta. The vast majority of those teams draft really well. And I should have known. I'm not high enough on him. He looks really good. I undervalued how bad of a coach Chip Kelly actually is. He is super talented. May take a year. The difference between him and Kellen Mond is night and day to me. I mean, absolutely night and day. I couldn't tell you a thing Kellen Mond does better than Dorian Thompson-Robinson right now.
Mm-hmm. But he'll still be a weapon for this team in some shape, form, or fashion.
They also manufactured a touch from Elijah Moore that went for, 20 yards or something like that.
18.
And Jeremy just went, I'm going to miss you. You were going to be so good, and you were not for my team, and that's going to make me sad.
Well, he's going to be just fine this year, and you can take some joy in that, can't you?
Oh, yeah. I care way less about my own team than people think.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap it up. The final overreactions from week 1 from the preseason.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Line delays, 26 westbound between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway, 26 eastbound slow between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. On the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, traffic volume is busy but moving steadily. Smoky Park Highway, no delays. Patton Avenue incident-free. New Leicester Highway, no backups. Sweeten Creek Road southbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Checking the drive time from Black Mountain to Old Fort via US 70 East and 40 eastbound. Drive time 10 minutes. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by ComparionInsurance.com.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent, local agent, local agent.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival is coming back to T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas this September.
Superstar artists from every genre.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Buy tickets now at AXS.com.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Are you Beer City's best fantasy football player? Your chance to prove it is back. The Sportsocracy's Battle for the Belt is back for year 2 with 2 ways to win. Our standard contest and the new Eliminator Challenge for the most hardcore of football fans. Play fantasy football with us every week of the NFL season and compete for a cause with proceeds benefiting Eblen Charities St. Nicholas Project. Register today at thesportsocracy.com and take your shot at the title of Beer City's fantasy football champion.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
And week 1 is in the books, and Overreaction Monday soon to follow. Big number from the weekend, 6.3. He only stands 5'5", ladies and gentlemen, but Deuce Vaughn rolled out 6.3 yards per carry, and the Dallas Cowboys 28-23 loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think this is my favorite story of the preseason, is watching the little guy.
Who's shocked the Tank likes the little feller?
Why not?
I mean, look.
Not too often you get a guy the size of Spud Webb that has a chance to play in the NFL.
Look, Tank, don't feel inferior. He's only 2 inches taller than you. Okay, so he's markedly faster than you, but he's only 2 inches taller than you.
Markedly faster, absolutely. Any major takeaways from the Jags and the Cowboys?
Nathan Rourke will have the funniest one-play career ever in NFL history.
Right.
Man, you remember that one throw he made where he looked like Trevor Lawrence? Yeah, the rest of it he didn't.
Yeah, broke like 7 tackles to get that touchdown pass. It's the best throw he'll ever make.
Jacob Harris finally did a thing 4 years after I said he was going to be a thing. 42-yard reception. Other than that, you didn't catch much from these teams. Starters only played a minute, and that was for Jacksonville. They didn't play at all for Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Jacksonville, real good. Dallas, real good.
Yep.
Backups, not real good.
Not so much. See, and that's where I go with all of the preseason games. There are some things that you can glean, but for the most part, these teams aren't full strength. They're not playing with their full complement of weapons. And to me, there's still a lot of questions to be answered. And I don't know that 2 more weeks of the preseason are gonna make me feel that much differently about anybody.
This is the flappetizer. All right? This is your dollar marg, your boneless buffalo wings. Nobody gets mad at those things, even if they're not good. You know why? Because they're just meant to keep you from starving to death until your entree gets here. And the entree is but mere weeks away.
That is right. The season kicking off on September the 7th, just a few weeks from now. It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, and we will, of course, be with you every step of the way this NFL season. Back with you tomorrow at 3 on 92.9 and the iHeartRadio app.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Chance for thunderstorms tonight and tomorrow. Looks like the heavier weather will be here for the top of the work week with a pretty decent chance for storms around the mountains tonight and tomorrow morning. And then less of a rain chance and cooler temperatures with lower humidity starting Wednesday. So looking forward to that. Nice little drop to the humidity here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're at 70 degrees tonight with thunderstorms. Scattered storms Tuesday, 80. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 26 westbound between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slowing east of Long Shoals Road to Airport Road. Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, volume is busy and moving well. Smoky Park Highway, no delays. Patton Avenue, no backups. New Lester Highway, incident free. Sweeten Creek Road southbound, light delays between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Checking the drive time, Mills River to Hendersonville via NC 191 southbound. Drive time 17 minutes. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by ComparionInsurance.com.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent, local agent, local agent.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com.
Foo Fighters,
Fall Out Boy,
Kelly Clarkson,
Kane Brown,
Lil Wayne, Lil Durk,
Lenny Kravitz,
Miguel,
Public Enemy,
Sheryl Crow,
Travis Scott,
Tim McGraw,
TLC,
30 Seconds to Mars.
Get your tickets now.
iHeartRadio Music Festival.
AXS.com.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.